Well, thanks so much to all of you and to Senator Shaheen and Commissioner Gottlieb. This is an issue that we all care about. It's actually an issue in healthcare that unites people as opposed to divides people. And there's a lot of opportunity here. And our industry, who's sponsoring this event, the PBM industry, cares deeply about this issue. And just to let you know real quickly what PBMs do, PBMs are hired by the large healthcare purchasers, health plans, unions, employers, government programs, Medicare Part D, to make sure the benefits are managed properly, efficiently, and also we reduce costs. We negotiate with drug companies, drugstores to bring costs down as much as possible. And this is an issue that we've been intensely focused on, not just PCMA, but our member companies are also doing many things on their own to address this issue. And while most of the discussion is around clinical things, which are very important and longer term, we have some solutions that our industry can implement right now in real time, and in fact are already doing in the marketplace. And we also have some policy suggestions that would move this along. One of them works with what Commissioner Gottlieb was saying about e-prescribing. But currently, I mean, what we want to do is get real solutions. We endorse the CDC guidelines, as nearly everybody does, but we have a 4-point plan, and I'll go through it real quickly. First, 7-day supply limitations for acute conditions. This is really key. I mean, the key with addiction is, from our point of view, prevent the drugs from getting into the wrong hands in the first place. With any addiction, if you can do that, you've gone a long way, not toward solving the problem, but toward keeping people from getting the medications that they shouldn't need and so forth. And that in and of itself could save lives, and that's something that can be done quickly. Second, we can use claims data. We have billions of claims to identify the 3 core groups of people who are involved in opioid abuse. At-risk patients, outlier prescribers who either don't know what's going on or have bizarre prescribing patterns of prescribing too much of these drugs to too many people or the wrong people. And then finally, the outlier pharmacies where people pick up these medications, so the so-called pill mills. There aren't many of them. Vast majority of pharmacies are great pharmacies. Vast majority of prescribers are great prescribers. But you can solve a huge amount of the problem just by getting out of your network those prescribers that do have problems, those pharmacies that are a problem. Third thing that we can do is require e-prescribing for controlled substances. Commissioner Gottlieb alluded to this, and there is a bill right now in Congress, the Every Prescription Conveyed Securely Act, bipartisan bill by Catherine Clark in Massachusetts and Mark Wayne Mullen in Oklahoma, that would do this. The beauty of e-prescribing and the way that it solves the problem is pretty simple. The challenge with opioid abuse is largely that a person gets a script, in old days, gets a written script, and then goes around to different pharmacies and gets it filled, or gets a number, tries to fill them at a number of different pharmacies. If we can identify the at-risk patients, which we can, let the prescriber know that, hey, here's a person who has tried to fill the same kinds of scripts at multiple pharmacies, multiple docs, or has other warning signs. And we can let the prescriber know that. And then you mix that with the prescriber electronically prescribing this to the drugstore and to a particular drugstore, so there's no written script anywhere. Then we know, the prescriber knows, and the pharmacy knows exactly who's getting what script and why. They're not just being handed a piece of paper that they didn't know what they got from anywhere. They know they're getting a legitimate script from a legitimate provider to a legitimate pharmacy. And that in itself could solve a lot of the problems, not just with people who have addictions, but also with diversion and other fraudulent behavior, because often part of the problem is that people do get these drugs illicitly and then resell them, as you know, in the black market. And finally, it would be helpful to require at-risk patients to get their medications, not all their medications, but just opioids, filled at the same pharmacy, at a single pharmacy as opposed to multiple pharmacies. Pharmacy, I hate the term, but that's what policymakers call it. But basically, it's requiring people who are at risk to go to a specific pharmacy, and only that pharmacy, to get those particular drugs filled. Again, to prevent pharmacy shopping and the other dangers that come with this. So just to close, there are common sense solutions. We come at it from a different perspective because although we have a lot of clinical capabilities, most of the clinical answers here are things that can be done through other groups. What we can offer is real-world help, real-time help, identifying where the problems are and nipping those problems at the bud. thank you very much for coming. We're really proud to be sponsoring this today. Really happy that everybody's come out here. I'd like to thank all the panelists who are about to speak too. It's very interesting. So thank you very much.